Good morning, church family. This is the weekly update for Thursday, November 10th. Our verse of the month is Ephesians chapter 1, verses 22 and 23. And it says, "And he put all things under his feet and gave him as head over all things to the church, which is his body, the fullness of him who fills all in all." And as we memorize that verse this month, it's a reminder that Jesus Christ is indeed the head of the church. He is the authority. He is our king. He is the one whose lead we follow. And as we remember that, as we just walk through our everyday life, we're just reminded that he calls the shots, not us. And when we trust him, our days get brighter. Few announcements for us this week. We've got our Baptist Children's Home Food Shower. As this month, in the month of November, we collect non-perishable food items for the Baptist Children's Home. There is a list of items in the connection point. There will also be one in the weekly update. And I want to encourage you as you go to the grocery this week to pick up a few items and put them in a bag and just drop them off here at the church. That'll be a big encouragement to that ministry. Also, the ladies' Christmas brunch is going to be here on Saturday, December 3rd at 9:30. You can sign up in the connection point. Also, an opportunity to serve. On Saturday, December 17th, you can ring the bell for the Salvation Army to help raise some money for that ministry. And so I just want to encourage you, it's a fun opportunity. It's going to be at the Kroger, just inside the doors. So even if the weather's bad, it'll be decent for you. So you can sign up this week in the weekly email update. There'll be some links there for that. Few prayer requests. I want to encourage you to be praying for Martha Jo Cabbage. She continues to be in a lot of pain from a surgery she had a while ago. And just be praying that God would bring healing and relief from that suffering. Also, pray for Jerry Kemp's therapy as he continues to work to get stronger, that would be effective and that he would be able to get stronger so he can be home soon. Also, Dave Fowler is having some shoulder problems. He banged up his shoulder and they're getting that checked out. So pray they get some good clarity and they get that healed up soon. Also, we have several birthdays coming up this week. On the 11th, we have two birthdays. Tara Mayhack, she and her husband Alan are missionaries in Australia. Sue Tutherow is having her birthday on the 11th. On the 13th, Shelby Woodsmall is having a birthday. On the 14th, Terry Abney. And then on the 15th, Jennifer Hart. So as you see those individuals, be sure to tell them happy birthday. Well, a few things I want to encourage you to consider is who are you having spiritual conversations with? And who can you invite to church? As we realize God's called us to be salt and light, that we need to be engaging with others with truths of the gospel, with biblical truth, but also inviting people to church where we know they're going to hear the gospel, they're going to be connected with other believers, other people can walk alongside of them as you walk alongside of them to help them to come to know, love, and live for Christ. You know, our big purpose of the church is we want to be glorifying God by being and making disciples. And so it's not just enough for us to be growing in our own walk with God, that we need to be reaching out to others as well. Well, speaking of inviting people to church, this Sunday we're going to be in Genesis 24. And in this passage, Abraham is working to get a wife for his son Isaac. And in that passage, we're going to learn that God always provides. That God always provides when our prayers and priorities are shaped by the love of Christ. That God always provides when our prayers and priorities are shaped by the love of Christ. So we're going to talk about marriage, we're going to talk about decision making, we're going to talk about priorities, just a whole variety of things as we walk through that passage on Sunday. Well, a couple of resources I want to point you to. We have these little 9 marks booklets around, and there are a couple of them that I want to point you to. One is called Why Should I Join a Church? And many of you may be recognizing, well, I'm already a member of a church. Well, I would encourage you to maybe pick this up and read it as you would walk alongside of somebody that's really not sure that they should become a church member or what the importance of it is. But a short little booklet, Why Become a Church Member. Another one in church membership would be related to that is Why Should I Give to my church? And why should I give? If I'm partnered with this ministry, what is the significance of giving and what would that giving look like? And again, just a couple short little booklets, easy to read, but just packed with good truths. Well, our Bible verse for today, Bible passage in the book of Job says this in chapter 10, verses 12 and 13. You have granted me life and steadfast love, and your care has preserved my spirit. Yet, these things you hid in your heart, and I know that this was your purpose. And as Job is walking through significant suffering and difficulties, he knows that God's steadfast love and his care has been undergirding his life. And yet, in the suffering, it seems as though God has hidden that from him. And so he's not experiencing it. And so what does Job do? Well, he voices that concern to God, but then he also continues to walk by faith, because he knows that his authority is who God is and what God has done, that he is indeed, that God gives us life. He has steadfast love. He does care for us, even when it doesn't feel like it. And so Job professes that, professes his wrestling about, God, it seems like you've hidden it. But in that kind of suffering, it's a reminder that we walk by faith and not by sight. Well, church family, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. I want to encourage you to have a great next couple of days, and may God bless you.